There is a dark Stoic rule nobody talks about. A rule so brutal, so unforgiving, that once you follow it, your entire life shifts almost too fast. And the strange part? It doesn't require strength. It requires something far more terrifying. The courage to face the chaos inside you before the world ever sees it. Because deep down, we all know it. The battles that destroy us aren't the ones outside. They're the ones we refuse to confront within. And tonight, you're going to hear the rule that ancient Stoic warriors used to dominate their emotions, silence their fears, and walk through life untouchable. Stay with me, because once this rule enters your mind, you won't see yourself the same way again. If you're ready to take control of your mind and your life, hit subscribe right now. This is where your transformation begins. There's a moment in every person's life where they realize something unsettling, not dramatic, not loud, just a quiet, uncomfortable truth that sits behind the ribs. I am not in control as much as I pretend to be. You feel it when anger spikes without warning, when fear whispers at the worst time, when someone's words cut deeper than they should. And if we're honest, these moments don't break us because they're powerful. They break us because we aren't prepared for them. That's where this ancient Stoic rule slips in, silently, waiting to change everything. The old philosophers didn't survive chaos because they were cold or emotionless. They survived because they trained for the chaos before it arrived. They practiced turning inward, slowing the fire, pausing long enough to see their emotions before acting on them. It sounds simple, right? But try it when someone disrespects you. Try it when fear grabs your chest. Try it when everything in you wants to explode. That pause, that stillness, is the hardest battle you will ever fight. Marcus Aurelius wrote privately, never expecting the world to read him. You must build your inner citadel, a fortress, not for keeping people out, but for keeping you contained long enough to see the truth. We forget this. We think strength is loud. We think power is aggressive. But the Stoics knew something darker. The most dangerous person in any room is the one who has learned to wait. Tell me this. How many problems in your life come from reacting too fast? How many regrets come from speaking before thinking? How many battles could have been avoided if you mastered the storm inside you, instead of trying to control the world outside? This is why the Stoics lived differently. They trained the mind the same way warriors trained the body. Slow, repetitive, consistent, until the mind no longer panicked, no longer rushed, no longer collapsed under pressure. And here's the part people overlook. The pause isn't weakness. The pause is a weapon. It gives you space to step above the moment, to see the bigger picture, to ask yourself, what would the strongest version of me do right now? Not the emotional version, not the scared version, the version you're trying to grow into. That question alone can rewrite the direction of your entire life. Because once you realize you can control the space between stimulus and response, you stop being predictable. People can no longer manipulate you. No one knows what will trigger you, because nothing does. And that makes you powerful in a way most people never reach. But this is only half of the rule. The darker, more transformative part is still ahead. If you think the pause is powerful, wait until you hear what comes after it. It's the shift that separates the ordinary from the untouchable. After the pause comes something far more uncomfortable, something most people avoid because it exposes the truth they've been hiding from themselves. The Stoics understood this perfectly. When you stop reacting, when you finally create silence inside, you're forced to face what's actually driving your emotions. Not the person who insulted you, not the situation, but the insecurity, the fear, the old wound underneath. And that's the part people run from. But we face it. Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." He wasn't talking about fantasy. He meant the storms we create inside ourselves, the stories we tell, the meanings we attach. The pause reveals these stories. It exposes the truth. The world isn't hurting us as much as our interpretation of the world is. Imagine how dangerous you become when you can catch the story before it twists you. When you can rewrite the meaning before it poisons your response. That's the real power hidden beneath this rule. And here's the twist. Once you see the emotion clearly, without distortion, without chaos, you gain something almost supernatural. Choice. The ability to respond from your highest self, not your wounded self. Most people don't choose. They react. They just act out the same patterns again and again, as if they're programmed. But the moment you pause, confront, rewrite the story, you break the pattern. You become a different person than you were 5 seconds before. This is where the transformation truly begins, because the third part of this Stoic rule is what actually changes your life fast. It's the step that forges discipline, builds mental armor, and makes your presence feel heavier, calmer, harder to shake. Most people never hear it, let alone master it. But you will, because the next part of this rule, it's the doorway to becoming someone unrecognizable to your old self. Now we reach the part almost everyone skips, the part that separates those who think about being strong from those who actually become strong. Because after the pause, after facing the truth beneath your emotion, you must do the hardest thing a human can do. Respond intentionally, not emotionally, not impulsively, but with a calm that feels almost unnatural at first. This is the moment where you choose to act like the person you want to become, not the person your past trained you to be. This is what the Stoics meant when they spoke of virtue. Not perfection, not holiness, but the ability to keep your compass aligned while the world shakes around you. Think about it. Anyone can be calm when life is gentle. Anyone can look wise when nothing is testing them. But when the moment hits, the insult, the fear, the temptation, the chaos, that's when your true philosophy reveals itself. That's when your inner training steps forward or fails you. And here's the strange part. When you choose a controlled, elevated response, people feel it. Your energy changes. Your presence shifts. You speak slower. Your eyes sharpen. You no longer mirror others, you make them mirror you. This is why Stoics were respected, feared, admired. Their responses weren't random. They were calculated, clean, precise. And this level of composure, this level of psychological control, rewires your life faster than anything else. But there's still a final turn in this rule, one most people never see coming, because mastering your response isn't the end. It's only the doorway. The fourth stage is where discipline becomes identity, where you stop acting stoic and start being stoic. It's the part that reshapes your relationships, your confidence, your focus, everything. And if you skip it, you lose the transformation. Don't move. The next chapter reveals the part that truly changes your life fast. The final stage is quiet, almost unsettling. Because once you've mastered the pause, confronted your emotions, chosen your responses, and built a new identity, the world around you begins to shift in ways that feel almost unreal. People treat you differently. Opportunities appear where chaos used to be. You stop chasing, and things start coming toward you. Not because the universe suddenly became kind, but because your mind stopped creating resistance. You've become someone whose inner world finally matches the outer life you want. And that alignment is what changes everything fast. This is the part the Stoics rarely said out loud, because once you reach this level, you no longer just survive life. You begin to shape it. And the next video will show you exactly how to do that with one more hidden Stoic principle most people never hear. If you felt something shift inside you today, hit subscribe now and don't miss the next chapter.